Welcome to Adult ypww Lesson 2. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's topic is It's All About That Salt, Part 2. The lesson text is coming out of Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 13, and John chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. The memory verse. I will read the King James Version first, and then the New International Version of Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. The New International Version. You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything, except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. The introduction says, last week we discussed the importance doing what we can to help others. If you cannot afford to help others in the way that you deserve to help, it's okay. Do what you can and keep moving forward with your life. One day God may indeed bless you to help those you desire to help in a significant way. Our faith in God's power to do all things is important. Our level of expectations and trust in God are also important. Our saltiness and effectiveness are greatly dependent on our obedience to the will of God. Being wealthy is not being effective. Being effective is found in following the directives of God. This should be the first desire of our hearts. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, Jesus has instructed us to seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness. Then all of the other things we need will be added. Take care of God's business, and He will take care of your business. This famous line reminds us of the provisionary power of God. When we seek to honor God with our lifestyle, He will help us to reach our physical and spiritual goals. The discussion says, little becomes much when we place it in the Master's hand. We find this truth to be demonstrated in John chapter 6, verses 1 through 16. This is the miracle event when Jesus fed 5,000 people from the lunch of a young boy. Jesus had been blessing the people with miracles at a feast of the Jews. After witnessing and hearing about the miracles He performed, 5,000 people followed Him to Galilee. When Jesus saw the crowds, He had great compassion for them and wanted them to have a very good lunch. Jesus asked His disciples for ideas of how to feed this great gathering. After this discussion, a young boy offers his lunch to the disciples to help feed everyone. The lunch consists of 5 small barley loaves and 2 fish. We don't know the name of this young boy. However, we do know that he was bold enough to let the disciples know what he could offer to help in this critical situation. He could have been totally uninterested in the lunch needs of the crowd that day. He could have been somewhere playing with his friends and not heard the conversation of the disciples concerning feeding the large crowd. Nonetheless, he stepped up boldly and offered to help. Jesus accepted the young man's lunch and blessed it, and the disciples distributed it to the crowd. From this small lunch, a miracle of multiplication and increase takes place. The lunch was miraculously multiplied to be enough to feed everyone. It is interesting to note that there were 12 baskets of leftovers after everyone finished eating. This young boy's bold, potent salt act positively impacted the lives of the 5,000 people that were in Galilee that day. The application says, savory salt will influence everything that it touches. When used properly, it enhances the food that it is seasoning. Food tastes better when it is seasoned with the right spices. In the USA, as well as other countries around the world, people will wait in line for an hour or more to get a seat at a popular restaurant because of the restaurant's great menu. The quality of food, the precise measurements of spices, and the talent of the chefs makes waiting for their favorite meal worth it. The same meal served at another restaurant will not have the same great taste if it is prepared with different seasonings or cooking methods. As children of God, We should expect God to bless our efforts to excel to an above average level. God's excellence should be reflected in every area of our lives. This is why God gives us various gifts, talents, and natural proclivities. He gives us a leading, cutting-edge advantage through our various abilities. God blesses what we do for Him, our families, others, and ourselves. The conclusion says, Jesus Christ has mandated that we live meaningful lives that are effective. We are the salt of the earth. We are to be examples of effective, successful living in this 21st century. We should never feel intimidated to use our gifts and talents to help build the kingdom of God. The young boy in our lesson willingly and literally stepped up to the plate and offered his small lunch to help Jesus out in Galilee. Jesus used his small lunch and performed a miracle of multiplication and increase. In the very same manner, God blesses what we do to help others. The questions for today's lesson. Number 1, like the young boy in our lesson, have you ever offered your gifts, talents, or abilities to help someone and been amazed by the outcome or end result? Share with the class an experience that you have had like this. Number 2, Jesus did not discount, ignore, or make light of the young boy's offer to help. How do you think this young boy felt after this miraculous event? Discuss it. The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.